There's a lot of things that made me want to be a truck driver, but number one thing was I was I looked at myself in the mirror one day and I'm like, I don't want to keep living the way I live now. I want to take my mom out the projects. You know, she deserves that. You know, she did a lot for me, and there's a lot of things I want in life too. You know, so yeah, one day I got off my butt and did what I had to do, and now I'm here.
The reason I wanted to become a truck driver was because I was in college studying engineering, and I realized that I would have to be in school for about 4 more years before I could even start making any money, if I can even find a job. So I looked into career opportunities, and trucking seemed like the fastest way for me to accomplish my goals financially.
What I love the most about trucking is the money. It makes me feel like I'm actually doing something in my life. You know, you eat your lunch and you get behind the steering wheel and you drive, and yeah, I love it. So, how you?
Trucking has allowed me to, honestly, gave me plenty of time to think about life and see where I want to go with it. And you don't get to do that in a lot of other jobs.
It's almost like working. Well, no, it is. It's working with family. You know, like at first, when I first started, it was I didn't know nobody, but like everybody made me comfortable. You know, they made me feel like I was at home, and it's awesome working with everybody here.
What I noticed about Americanstar when I just started working here was that everybody in the office and all the drivers, they treated each other like family. And I thought that was very unique for a company. You know, you guys care about your drivers, you guys care about the experiences that we have out there on the road, and you guys do your best to, you know, fix any issues that, you know, might arise. And I really appreciate that.
My favorite thing about Americanstar is the equipment I get to drive every trip. The people I work with, they're awesome.
One of my favorite things about Americanstar is the equipment that we get to drive. It's really well taken care of. It's clean. The guys in the garage do an inspection after every trip and make sure that that vehicle is safe to drive, so that my life is not in danger. I feel safe getting to this equipment and driving it every day. And it's honestly the team that works here. They work really, really hard to keep this operation running smoothly, and you really get to see, as a driver that drives the equipment, I really see that. Also, another one of my favorite things about working at Americanstar is honestly the rate at which I make my financial gains. Basically, I can make as much money as I want to. I can work as much as I want to, and I really appreciate the fact that every time I'm ready to work, the team works together to put together a trip as soon as possible for me to leave, and they also work very hard to get me home on time, especially for appointments, and you know, they're just very, very good about planning things out and making sure that these trips run smoothly. One of my favorite things about team driving, aside from the fact that I get to drive with a good friend of mine, is how fast we get to the West Coast and back. As a solo driver, driving on logbooks, it can take anywhere from 12 to 14 days. Sometimes you might even have to restart in the middle of it, but as a team driver, I know that that truck is always moving and none of my time is being wasted, and I really appreciate that. When other drivers ask me about the company that I work for, you know, like a driver will come up to us, you know, they're outside, you know, like having a cigarette or something, you know, and like they'll like walk up and like, hey, how you doing? You know, we get to talking, and like, man, they got nothing but complaints. Like nobody ever says like, you know, like, oh yeah, my company's awesome, they treat me really well. Like it's very rare that you hear that, and usually it's the owner operators, you know, because they treat themselves well. But like for us, it's like they ask, oh, how do you like working, you know, for your company? And it's just awesome, you know, because I don't know, just like all the reasons we said before, you know, like flexibility, you know, like the people we work with, it's awesome. You know, it's very nice to, you know, I feel like it's a privilege to work here.
He could have not said it any better.